What is up, everyone? It is Cody here with the Kubicon Jeep. So I want to try something a little bit new. You guys are catching all the big stuff, a lot of technical stuff on the Jeep TJ 1-ton build. There is so much more to this Jeep than just what you guys are seeing on YouTube, and I want to try to capture some of it because there's a lot of really good technical data that maybe, like, you know, isn't super big but requires a bunch of time figuring it out. That's not quite worth a YouTube video, but still very worth mentioning to you guys. So what my plan is I'd like to do a weekly update on the Jeep for all the stuff that we don't cover in videos. Just what we got done on the Jeep in total for the week. So this is current status of the Jeep. Obviously a little bit different than the last time you guys saw it. We'll just kind of start at the back this time and work our way to the front. So we've got our 4-inch smoked taillights in. Those are super easy. They're just Amazon specials. They are not wired up yet. I just cut the hole for the wire loom last night. Back here, the big thing that I want to mention is we've got fuel lines ran from our fuel cell. So you guys watched the video, you saw the fuel cell getting installed. The line is installed now, running fully through the cab here. It's gonna follow the wire loom that's in here, and it'll be P-clamp running all the way through the cab and then up through kind of higher on the roll cage and then through the firewall there. Since we're in the front now, hood pins are installed. So you guys saw the high lines get in. The pins were not in yet. So these are really cool. They're flush mount push button hood pins. So you pop the button in the center here. This one's going to be a pain in the ass because I'm going to do them at the same time. Pop it up, and you can see drilled through the hood, and then we've got little pins sitting in the grill here. I like this look a lot better than the look of the pin ones, only because these are flush. And I think it just really adds to the aesthetic look. All right, so continuing on the fuel lines here, this is the rest of it. Runs all the way up through the firewall, and then we'll connect into our fuel rail. Now, the important part about this is not the line itself, it is the quick connect fittings. Because our stock OE line is this guy right here with quick connect fitting from Chrysler and metal lines that run down the frame with a bunch of evap stuff. That's all deleted on the Jeep. So, what I found is 5/16 Dorman quick connect fitting. I'll zoom in on the part number if I can find it on this thing. Oh, right there. 800-080. 5/16 is your guy for up here on the fuel rail. And then for the fuel cell itself is the 3/8 version of that from Dorman. That part number is 800-082. Oh, going for a ride with that. So this guy is the guy that connects into our fuel pump, like so, right there. I ran 3/8 fuel line all the way up through the firewall, and then I I used like a butt connector for hose, 3/8 to 5/16, and made this last little section 5/16. You could totally use 3/8 all the way through. I only got 12 feet of fuel line, and realistically you need like 15 feet of fuel line to make the run that I made specifically. So that's our fuel situation taken care of this week. Additionally, I put our electric fan on, so we're not running an actual fan off the engine, we're running electric fans now. This is an eBay special, it was like 70 bucks. I get it in, realize the reservoir will not work, stock one, so this is an Amazon reservoir. As you can see, it's routed to the radiator, and then this is an overflow that just runs straight down to there. So nice little reservoir, and it's got a, if I can flip the camera around right, it's got a little gauge to tell how full it is. So not bad. It was like, I think it was like 17 bucks. So additionally, underneath the cab here, we've got these fully wired, so they work. I'll turn them on real quick. We've got power to the Jeep now, so that's freaking exciting. Hasn't had power in like 3 years. But as you can see, we've got our Marker lights wired, ready to go. That was as easy as just probing out the wires, figuring out power, ground, and then switch signal for turn signals. Turn signals are not currently working. Radiator hoses, most of them are all hooked up. Our reservoirs, I originally was gonna mount them up here. The reason I didn't mount them up there is because heat actually can mess with all the oils and the nitrogen and everything in the shocks, and it wears your shocks down. In this specific application, it's not really gonna matter. This isn't a race car, but in the spirit of race cars, I mounted the reservoirs outside. So I got these little tabs off of Amazon and welded them straight to the tower and then hose clamped them on. I have a couple more back here so you guys can see what they look like in real life. There you go. Baja Racing Supply Shock Reservoir Bracket, 4 of them. They're just little pre-bent brackets for the reservoirs. Those are for the back, and we'll figure out where I'm gonna put them. But shock reservoirs are all mounted up nice and pretty out of the way, as you can see here. Additionally, our battery is in. Battery tray from Motobilt hooking up to our Motobilt Highlines. Grounds are in, powers are in. Disregard this here. I have to get the rest of the inner fender in. I'm gonna figure out where that's gonna mount, and then I'm gonna make a line specifically that length to fit it where it's going. But all our wiring. Additionally, I did ground from the frame to the engine to the tub to the hood, and then our wiring harness grounds and all that stuff. This thing had some ground issues a long time ago, and that just completely mitigates any ground issues if you ground every different component. So moving into the cockpit here, we've got kicker 4x6s installed, a new head unit, just all Amazon special stuff. That's all up and working. I've got wake tower speakers. These are pretty sweet. I'm actually excited to get them installed on the Jeep, but they're kicker wake tower speakers. I'm thinking they're gonna probably go off this bar here, but not 100% certain on that yet. Additionally, took a bunch of wiring out of our dash cluster here. We got seat brackets because I sold my seats, not realizing I needed the brackets. And then there's PRP conversion brackets right here for our PRP seats when they come. Doing our panel. This is an eBay panel. Someone 3D prints these. Super good quality, actually. I have to bevel these holes out a little bit to fit the larger rocker switches. But I've got 2 USB charging ports, and then there's 11 total switch spots. These 2 are for the lockers, so I'm just waiting on them to arrive so I can put them in here. But I'm looming that whole thing up so it's nice and easy to use, ready to go. These switches are just generic miniature electromechanical switches from China. They come with some stickers and all that stuff, so not a bad deal. They were pretty cheap. So this is the week in play. Minus we went to put the transfer case up, and our mounting brackets that we put in down there completely in the way of the 241, so that's got to get redesigned and reinstalled. I'm just gonna take that zone lift bracket that shifts the whole bracket back. I'm gonna take that off, re-drill holes directly underneath the trans like factory. That should pretty much solve that issue, but I will let you guys know. Outside of that, yeah, that's where we're at a week in the Jeep. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys. This is all that other stuff that's not the big flashy exciting stuff that we install here most of the time. We're installing all that. Those videos are still coming. I just want to give you guys a weekly update, kind of like, hey, this is what else we did on top of the Jeep. So many considerations, so many things that you don't think of. I didn't think when I bought the electric fan that I'd have to replace the reservoir. There's just so many considerations. Or when you get the fuel cell and you're like, I don't know what freaking quick connect to get. All that stuff just adds up, and it takes a lot of time to figure out. This Jeep does not go together as fast as it looks like it does on YouTube, although this has been a slow one. I'm sure the videos are like, that was 8 minutes. And it's like, yeah, that took me 2 days to do. So hopefully you guys like this video. There's a bunch more content coming out. I am getting ready to film the drop-down tailgate and probably our tub armor pieces that go right here today. But as you guys can see, like, we've got the Motobuilt diff covers, we've got the boat sides that still have to go on. That is all the PSC full hydro. So 4 boxes for all of our full hydro for the Jeep. That is another video coming out very, very soon here. Yeah, we're getting the Jeep done. We are going wheeling. I've already signed up for some trips. I will let you guys know what trips as soon as the Jeep gets closer to being done. But yeah, that's this week in a nutshell. I am going to get to it, but we'll catch you guys on the next episode of the Jeep TJ 1-ton build. Thanks for watching.